Good afternoon, Scott Redler, T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. So what is today? It's been a long day, and I believe it is Tuesday. Lots of action today. Yesterday we left the session, and you had the RSI screaming at levels we haven't seen since 2012. The percentage of where we were with the RSI only I think a few times in the last 20 years. And then today we started off with a little weakness, went below yesterday's low in a lot of the different sectors. And then what happened? Couldn't even stay there for more than 15 minutes. So if you tried to press into yesterday's low, probably gave back a little bit of money if you went out short. If you looked for opportunities long today within a flat market, that probably was the way to go, because finding relative strength, finding the setups is what we try and do here at T3 Live. That's why we put out off the charts. That gives you the tight patterns. That's why we do the morning call with Brittany in the morning. And also my Redler All Access note usually has about 20 situations in there that I will be focusing on for some type of P&L/alpha/things to do. You look at the chart here of the SPX and what happened here today. Oh my goodness, this is what everybody was so scared of, and this is what took place. You had a quick trade below yesterday's low, okay, 1947, came back above and closed okay. Looks like a lot of the same that could take place here, right? This is when we broke above 1885. Here's when we closed on breakout levels, and then you had a quick move up. This is where we were really overbought. And what happened? We went sideways for 3-4 sessions before going again. So if you are still rolling up shorts and you're trying to be extra cute, just be a bit careful, because now we have a new range. Okay, and yes, we're still extended from the 8-day. We held above support 1. Okay, in my morning note I wrote this was support 1 besides your morning pivot, which was yesterday's low. And now let's see if we go sideways for a bit. If we go sideways for a bit in here, the moving averages catch up, we get new price pattern setups, and we look for the action. So today, I walked in after last week getting very frustrated with social media names, because every time I paid up or had good prices and I thought it was going to go, they didn't. But what happened today is there was a catalyst, right? Facebook got the head guy from PayPal, which is making people think, oh my goodness, with all their user base, maybe they can monetize some transactions or create some kind of transaction business within there. Because we were kidding this morning. I think I've been on Facebook for however long it's existed. I've never bought anything. And they could make it a hub, but who knows? Anyway, last night some quick thoughts saying I think this is good. Today the price action had heavy volume. I'm looking at today's note, the morning note, and I'm like, what did we talk about with Facebook? Still holding above 62. Announced that David Marcus from PayPal is coming over, perhaps monetizing transaction. Anyway, needs to get through 64-ish and close above it and have heavy volume for some momentum to come in. So I wasn't trying to be an analyst. I wasn't trying to talk about valuation, this and that. I was looking at the price pattern. It's been wearing enough people out. It held above the 62, this time through 64, and it actually showed relative strength while the market was coming in the morning. Gave you the trade. So now you look here at Facebook. You look at the overall trend. We talked about how this gap all the way up, it could have broken to the downside here. Did it? No. That's when it broke to the upside. Came in, couldn't get through resistance, wore a lot of people out, including myself. But you know what? We all learned a little bit, because old school Red Dog would have been like, I can't do this. I bought it here, I'm done. But you know what? Yesterday, towards the end of the day, got back involved. And then today, as if none of this noise meant anything, added, and I think a lot of people in the community did too, and there you had your nice move. If you go to put some volume in, because we talked about needs heavy volume, what happened today? Ooh, little heavy volume. Nice breakout. You would think that it can continue higher, okay, because we talk about a feeler on day 1, add on day 2, then you try and trim and trail day 3, and then keep some. Twitter also, I think I posted a chart this morning. Not a blockbuster move, but volume's starting to increase in here. Okay, today feels like the short still hasn't, they still haven't given up on it, because there's a big short interest. But you had heavy volume. It traded above another buy area. Let's see what I wrote in today's morning note for Twitter. Getting some volume spurts. This pattern is getting tight. A move above 35 could spark another trade to get into the gap of near 38. So you look here at the stock again, and this was where to close. Not a blockbuster move, but if you were in it from this strong day here, anticipating that it can go, you had some nice prices. It still hasn't stretched, and here's your gap. So maybe tomorrow we get a nice trade through 36.10 if the volume persists and we retest the 37.77. But here's a nice volume. We'll see what happens. Also, LinkedIn, you know, it's been broken, it's been battered, it's been bruised. You know, you look at the trend here from all the way back when it started trending lower, and then, you know, broke key support and went below the 200-day. Well, look at this little volume spurt. Maybe that's the start of something. Okay, I know Sperling was in it a little bit earlier than me, but it closed on the highs. Good book says take some home long. And here's your next inflection point. If it opens lower, some people will probably be buying it. If it goes through today's high tomorrow, 164, there's really not much up there until the 170s. Okay, and then you have the 200-day all the way up here. So nice volume. Got above this tight pattern. We'll see if that continues. Yelp was out of play because there was some news that Amazon was getting into their turf. Don't know if that's going to really mean anything, but Amazon's doing a lot of things, right? The phone, to this, to that. So if this wants to be good, I think maybe having a feeler to see if some kind of big volume comes back, I think is worth it. So 67.15 is really the breakout level of heavy volume. This one did not go because of that news, so we'll see maybe there's some attention there tomorrow. So today there really wasn't much to do with, with Apple. It opened up, traded around, lots of little trades on a micro basis. Okay, nothing on a real macro, but it's still above the 8-day, still looks good. You have a new point of reference. 3-minute charts are best for trading this thing now, or 5 minutes, but if you're in it since, since it broke out here, or you're in it since this gap and go, okay, and traded there, or when it flagged here, or when it went above there, keep using the 8-day as your guide. Just if you're initiating new positions, I would not do it with any type of size when it's extended from the 8-day, because it's a little, harder to deal with. Let's remove the volume because, my charts are a little prettier when I don't have it in there. So, again, this is when I talked about iPhone to head. I think it's 100 by 2015, and I still stand by that. It's just how it gets there, and so far it's been proving that it's hanging in there post-split. Google, maybe it'll be a good trade here tomorrow. Nice inside day. Lots of trades in the past, few weeks here. A little bit of consolidation and sideways action could give us a nice buyable pivot above 572. Amazon, after 1-day arrest, continued. When these things wake up, you got to stay with them. A lot of people on the site are all over it on the VTF. I've been avoiding it, but thank goodness social media helped me today. Anyway, little flag pattern. Talked about this in morning call today too, and strong day. Stocks back in vogue. Big volume woke it up here, and it still looks like it's trending higher. Netflix gave you 2 days, got upgraded today, and getting a little choppy. We like this when it's calculated. It was calculated here, and then if you overstayed your welcome, which is what is going on in this market, if you are looking for a Q trade, and there were some people that were looking for a Q trade here, okay, on this topping tail, which made sense, but what does Netflix fail to do? It has not broken the 8-day moving average since this breakout. So if you stayed with size here, you know what? You were testing the Netflix flames because, day and a half, it makes sense, and then you had to see more data before thinking it can go lower. And at this point, little topping tail, getting choppy in here, just, take your trades. If you remember last week, got a little blasted on the casino stocks because of the poor Macau numbers. They had, I think, a downgrade today, and they reversed. Maybe, they act a little bit better. I know a lot of people like to follow these, so, I'll just show you some bottom tails. Win, nice little bottom tail into support above the 200-day. Yes, this is a laggard. All it is I'm just showing you. So if you were short from here, maybe you covered. LVS also. Some, red dog reversals here. This actually closed above the 200-day. And then you have MGM, which also, if you were looking to buy some support, you have this like this, and then you have like this like that, okay? With the RDR, maybe there's a trade back to the moving averages. The banks didn't really pull in. BAC talked about the trade here to get above 1530. There you go. You look at a lot of these others, Morgan Stanley, hanging in there, hanging tough. Hopefully maybe we get a little down open tomorrow, so this way we get one more day within these flags to buy and then go higher. VIPs and the Chinese guys, look at this, still trending up after it broke above this price point we had in the morning note, I think last week. Baidu continues. They take one day off, and then look at this, new highs again. Nice continuation to Friday's move that we saw here. Some are calling this a nice little cup and handle type pattern where you have, this is the cup, here's your handle, there's your breakout. So still some room left in the tank if you're looking for opportunities versus just trying to talk about every reason why the market shouldn't go higher. And this is where we stand. It'd be nice to see the indices hover for another session or so, let the oscillator come down, let the RSI come down. And then within that, if we could find the relative strength and weakness, that's how we make a living. And then if things hold in there and we get some tight patterns, then you continue. At this point, if you're holding 6, 7, 8, 9 positions, just make sure you have a hedge on just in case. And if you're looking for tactical trades, there were a lot of them today without having to take any overnight risk. Just try not to have opinions, keep looking for the setups. Hopefully we're providing you with enough tactical opportunities here and game plan situations that you're benefiting from the tape. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.